We welcome to the Only Fools and Horses podcast, Lordy Geordie. How's it going?
Yeah, too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
No worries. So, of course, you starred in the last episode of Only Fools and Horses. You appeared in that episode, Sleepless in Peckham. What are your memories of being on the show?
It was quite good, actually. You know, I mean, me and Tony were talking about it the other day, actually. When we've arrived there, and we're sitting with all the extras in the, don't know what to do, and they've come round and sort of like, oh no, you've got your own room with your name on the door. So it's quite nice, actually. It was quite surprised at us too. It's quite good. But it's hard. You feel embarrassed when we were standing right next to David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst, but just didn't know what to say to them. They're sort of like standing like that, and you sort of think, oh, they don't know who I am. So just kept quiet.
That was in May.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. David Jason was sitting there, and then they sat me down and you down.
Yeah.
Because Dave had red hair, so back in them days.
Those days.
they said I should make him wear a hat. So they said to me, "You don't need makeup," but he does. So then they drew him into some eyebrows.
They drew me eyebrows. I had no eyebrows. They drew them on me.
And Nicholas Lyndhurst was standing behind, leaning against the wall, smoking, and it was very surreal because they're just around you,
Yeah.
And when we went to Wardrobe, we was with John and Sue, as their voice and Marlene. They were so funny. They're funny, just naturally nice.
Yeah, nice couple.
Yeah, it was a good day.
It was good.
Most of the day we spent with Roy Ever, didn't we? Sid.
Yeah.
He was absolutely brilliant. Even lunchtime, we didn't bother going to the canteen. We stayed in the studio with Sid. Sorry, Roy. Stuff. It was a fantastic day. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I bet it was. And like you said, it must have been surreal being in the Nag's Head. You got Trigger, you got Boise, you got Del Boy, you got Rodney, Raquel, Cassandra. I mean, very surreal.
Patrick was funny on the day. Whenever it was a break in filming, Patrick started singing. And it was like everyone just joined in with him. He was the funniest bloke I've ever met in my life. He really is a nice guy.
Well, when we started our part with that, then they would play the music that we'd already recorded in the studio, weren't it? Graham Jarvis, we recorded it first. They played it, and we've had to mime to ourselves singing. Now you got the mic there, and I'm looking like that, and straight away it's cut. He's looking down the camera, and I thought I was red enough as it was, you know what I mean? I'm sort of like, oh no. So I've got my grandkids are here, and
that's all right. No worries.
One of the things they go away, you lot. Sorry.
That's all right.
We're getting after them today. So we started miming to our, so they'd play and we'd be miming. They would then stop the music. They would act, and me and Tony stand there go. quite embarrassing, really. But it was good. It was a good time. It was good, we enjoyed it. And then, Cassandra, and I always forget the names of them. When we done that a bit, they come around and said, "Oh, we were good," and that, which was quite nice for them to say that. But yeah, it was a memory.
Yeah, and you always say that they're always a very friendly cast, aren't they? Everybody involved.
Yeah, I think Brynniff had the what they call it, like a prosthetic pregnancy thing on. And you could tell that must have been heavy because her back, and she had to sit down every so often because of the weight of that, making it look like she was pregnant. And I really felt for her because it looked painful. But she soldiered on right through it, done everything. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's good. It was a good day. I think it's funny when we very first got there. You don't know what to expect, and we parked in the car park at the BBC, and then Trigger got out the car opposite, and we looked and we thought, and he said to me, "That's Trigger," and I'm not. So he looked at us, and we looked at him. I said, "We're with you today." Oh, follow me. That was the first thing. That was really, really, really good. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Great actor, that guy. Couldn't be missed. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Did you keep anything from the set, like any costumes that you wore or anything like that?
Well, they just said to us, come in suits, wear a suit. Because the thing is, when we first got this, we were on the circuit. We had a residency in about 8 or 9 different venues. So we were there once a month, and we used to do a thing like Classic Car Owners Rally, and 7,000 people. We had these quite big gigs. And this guy rang Dave, and he got our number from Alan and Norman. Dave was Ziggy Sawdust.
Yeah.
So they're the guys on, and they're on the same circuit as us. And it must have been them that gave.
Yeah, they did. They gave the number to well, they gave Graham Jarvis a number to the 8 Bells, wasn't it? Who gave him our number.
And then they gave him your number.
Yeah.
And this guy met up with Graham Jarvis, but he wouldn't tell us what it was for.
It's weird. I got a phone call. My name's Graham Jarvis from BBC, so I'm thinking, yeah, all right. And can you sing Unchained Melody? He said, yeah, of course I can. I'm thinking, never do it. Can you make me sing? I said, yeah, of course I can. I don't know. I just started gigging with him. But luckily, it was a visual thing. So Tony came around my house. We had some photos done. And then I think it was on a Monday night, 10 o'clock at night. I'm knocking on this bloke's house with the pictures. Oh, as you're here, recording studio, recorded the bit of the song. And that's when he said he'd tell us more about it. He's going to see the producer of the show on the Tuesday. And then we got the phone call on the Wednesday. And that's when he told us what it's for. So it was quite a nice shock.
Yeah, so it was quite secretive, really.
Yeah,
to begin with.
It was.
He just said we'd take Nick out and Robson and drone. That was it. He didn't say nothing else about it.
Yeah, I like the bit where Rodney says, "Why? Why are they doing a tribute to Robson and Durang?"
It's quite good. Yeah, for us, like I say, it was a brilliant day. We enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. We've seen them a few times. Well, we've seen them 6 and done a few things, done like a convention and that. And it's just fantastic meeting up with them. It's probably the greatest crowd to be with. I can't imagine other TV shows having that amount of people that are so grounded and just fantastic. I liked them all. I don't think there's anyone I didn't like. They're all good, But I really did like Roy. It was fantastic. Way took us under his wing. Brilliant. Yeah. And towards the end, it was John and Sue. They when the sort of filming was cut, they were running around mucking around all the time, and me and Dave were having pictures taken with Alan and Norman, and they were bombing the pictures. and we ended up with a picture that was just so good that I kept it, Whereas me and Dave were having a picture taken, and Alan, who was Ziggy Sawdust, is looking over my shoulder, and suddenly John and Sue are both in the picture as well. It was absolutely brilliant. I could try and do a screen share if you want. You might be able to get it.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, we'd like to see the picture, wouldn't we, Emily?
Yes, we would.
Let's see if I can get this to come up. Host has disabled screen sharing.
How do I do it? I'm not sure.
Maybe in the settings? I don't know.
Let's have a quick look.
In answer to Emily's question earlier on, Tony got one of the posters off the wall with Lordy Geordie on.
Oh, brilliant. Did you manage to find it? Or?
Yeah. I've got about 3 or 4 of them. But
brilliant.
Wow.
Boise Marlene signed it.
Signed up Marlene and Boise, John and Sue. They signed it there and then. And I had to wait because I didn't about continuity. We didn't know if they were going to carry on doing the filming. So we had to leave things as they were. And Roy said, I'll find out if we're finishing. And he came back, he said, that's it, it's a wrap, you can take them down now, you know, we don't need them. So I went around taking them, most of them down that I could, you know. They were no good to them anymore. I think Dave's got one. I think the Fools and Horses Society have got one. And the others are probably in the loft somewhere.
So you'll always treasure that, won't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, John and Sue signed that for us because they were mucking around doing all the playing with us afterwards. They were just so good. You know. But,
they're the ones that they were more approachable. They're the ones that you could, oh, can you sign that for us? And they were happy to do it. Whereas others, gone.
Yeah, it must be hard to stop yourself though when you're in that environment. I mean, I'd want to have selfies with everybody. I'd want to have autographs from every actor. It must be very, very hard to restrain yourself.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've got other ones of these that are literally signed up by every actor. You know, it's
when we won. Yeah.
It was just, you know, fantastic. And I think they sent an envelope. Got it here. It's probably, it must have been, this come from, where did BBC or I'm not sure. And it must have been the last ever, we done it there and then, but it must have been the last ever cast picture.
Well, that was it, yeah, that was the whole cast.
Oh, wow. Let's see that again. Just
say,
you got to say something.
In the foot there. When they said to us, oh, do you want to stand behind the stars? We know I'm standing up on the wall, okay. Should have stood behind them.
Yeah, we got sent to and I just think it must have been the last cast picture done because it was the last show.
Yeah.
Anthony, if you can show it to us again and just say it's the last cast picture. Sorry, it's just we only see you when you talk, so you were showing it and we didn't see
right,
it.
Okay. I think it's quick. We can't screenshot. I could show you the real thing. But this is really, as far as I know, the last cast picture they done because this was done on the day. And as far as I know, after that, it was done because we could go and take all the posters down from the wall. So that must have been the last cast picture.
Wow. Have you shared that online? Have you scanned it? Or?
I scanned it in, yeah. I could have showed it if we could share, but that's it. It's something we treasure because, you know.
Everybody was given a copy of that.
Yeah.
When we all got a picture,
Wait a minute.
Copy of that.
I've ticked share screen. That might be it. Let's try that.
I'll see if I can see if this works now. Can you see that?
He's got it out there. Should it's at the back. No, Johnny had it.
Can you see it, Dave?
Yeah. There's us at the back on the left.
Yeah, at the back there.
Oh
right.
Yeah.
And there's Alan and Norman. And there's me and Dave.
Wow, lovely
so much
picture.
Slimmer there.
Look at Marlene in her dress.
Yeah. That's it. That was the last, obviously the last one I would have thought.
Get that photo up, Tone.
Well, while you're there, yeah, I'll get the picture for you. There you go.
That's it.
You can see it's a studio. That's a Nag's Head. It's a studio.
And you've got Ziggy Sawdust on the left, and of course you've got Boycie and Marlene in the middle.
Great. Yeah, you can see the look on their faces. They come and bomb the picture. And we just had such fun after that. You see the roll of posters in the end. But I did leave some on the wall by the look of it anyway. Mm-hmm. But that's that one. That was fun. So that was it looks like she's in bed. Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's funny because we never done that song before. And we have got in our set, I mean, let me say in the set, I actually stopped doing live stuff in about 2012. We filmed that 2002 and we stuck at it for another 10 years, but we both have full-time jobs, you know, and my day job was so exhausting sometimes, and wherever we played they wanted to book us every month, once a month, so if you imagine, you've only got sort of 4 weekends, 5 at the most, so you can only really fit in about 8 venues. But we had about 12 venues that were always trying to push to get us in there. And so sometimes we were gigging Friday, Saturday and Sunday just to get the venues in. And after 12 years, Dave was great. He could carry on, but I had to look.
You had enough.
I had to look at my day job and say,
you know, you was starting up your kung fu business at the time, weren't you?
I've always had martial arts schools. Yeah.
Yeah, you was starting all that up. That was all coming along.
That was the new school in Cobham. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been up and running for 10 years now. But that was, you know, I worked in radiology and oncology. I was in medical physics, so I couldn't really screw up my day job. You know, it would have been dangerous for someone. So I think Sunning Cat to give me so good to music. But since then, I've slowly gone back in to studio where I write albums. I've got a new album just coming out with me and Dave. It's under Laburnum Blue is the name of the band, and I don't mind that because I can go in. I can write music when I want. We can go into the studio and record when we want. We're not tied down to certain nights and venues or whatever.
Yeah, it's very more remote now, isn't it? When you record music, it's, you know, you can be somewhere else and you haven't got to all be in the same place. And yeah.
Exactly. We do though. It's my brother owns Blatant Records, Blatant Music, so we get the studio for free.
Oh,
and
great! Well, that's a bonus.
Yeah. Whenever he says it's free, if he said it's free Saturday, me and David Wash are in there on Saturday. You know. But the new album's just about to come out, and we're halfway through writing the second one. But I prefer that now. I prefer doing that. Dave still goes there. He does.
When all this COVID started, 6 months before it started, I lost my sense of smell and I couldn't sing properly for 6 months. My vocals are gone. But they've all come back now. So I've just started doing gigs again. And just recently joined the band as a bass player, singer as well. So that's a bit of fun. It's nice to get into a band for once instead of just standing there singing, you know.
That's good news because we want you to sing later, so you know.
All right, okay. All right, yeah. Look,
everyone in his family sings. His wife's a great singer. He's got 2 daughters and a son. They're all great singers.
They'll sing.
It's like the Von Trapp family, but they're not being chased by the Germans. You know? they're a singing family, but you know.
Did you find that, like, years after, you could mention, like, you'd been on Only Fools and Horses? I know you was in a brief part, but, like, we found that with other actors who had been, say, the stand-up comedian at Rodney's wedding, he'd always mention, "Oh, I've been in Fools and Horses. If you watch this."
We never did. Even after we filmed it, we carried on gigging for, say, another 10 years after that.
Yeah.
But we never ever advertised that, and we didn't tell people that. But you'd be surprised how many people at the gigs would come up and say to us, "Well, you were this, weren't you?" And we go, "Yeah, all right, you know, we should keep it a bit of a secret, you know." And we changed our names. I was Charlie Smart. I had a different, you know, whenever people come in and ask you your names, we had different names just to throw them off the track. And it's not because we was unashamed of it at all. We loved it, absolutely loved it. But you know, it was just and I've been sitting in a restaurant eating, and some woman's come in, and I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and she shouted right across the thing. She opened the door. She goes, "It's you, isn't it? It's you." I'm looking round. We're all looking round. She goes, "No, you, it's you." And I'm going, "Me?" She goes, "Yeah." And I'm I've only ever been recognised once, but it's while I was eating. That was weird.
But we find that even if you're an extra, even if you're just an extra in it, people have seen Only Fools and Horses so many times because they love it so much and it's repeated all the time that they recognise you, don't they?
They do. And especially for Dave, because he's still out there doing it. you know, and he gets asked, you know, can you get both of you come along and do it, you know.
When we went to that convention, weren't it? We was asked to go to their convention a few years back before the old COVID thing. And I'm sort of thinking, we're not actors. Why do they want us? And it was surreal. People asking for our autograph and our picture taken with them. And you just, I think, why? It's quite surreal, that sort of, it was nice.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of like, because I've not been on other shows acting, I was wondering, why do they want to sort of like know about us sort of thing?
Yeah,
weird.
Just musicians, aren't we? That's it.
Yeah.
So, it's
Well, we're,
nice though.
But it was a very funny scene while you were singing in the background, wasn't it? Because Marlene had a boob job, and Trigger, of course. But Boise says it's $4,000 a boob, doesn't he? And then Trigger says, "Well, how much did that cost you?"
yeah. It's brilliant. It was funny.
It was good. I know when we had to watch them do it, and they're so professional. And when Raquel actually, she said to Marlene, said like something for me 40th birthday. She said, when I met you, you were pushing it. Now you've for the last 10 years, you've been towing it. You know, it's like the way when that was acted and done, that was so clever. It's brilliant.
And I thought it was great the dress Marlene was wearing, because Raquel compares her to those little ladies you put on toilet rolls. You know, those old-fashioned.
Yeah. When she, I mean, we had to keep straight face because our bit we was in the background and we had to be straight face. So when they came in, they said, "Sorry about your hair, Marlene." On the wet myself, you know, because that one liner, isn't it? "Sorry about your hair, Marlene." That was brilliant, you know.
You look like Brian May in a spin dryer.
That's right. Oh, I love that bit. But it was so good, so clever. And every time they done a break, as I say, Patrick would start singing, or we'd all join in. You know, it was fun filming, and in between the filming, it was like the whole day of just laughing. You know, I'm not.
I was going to say, but it was difficult to keep a straight face in the background.
Yeah, I'm not a person that laughs out. You don't ever see me going, laughing out like that. I laugh inwardly. But they actually had me laughing, and I'm thinking, no, I've got to stop with being filmed. I can't laugh, so I'm back to being straight again, you know. And it was really hard. I think they were doing it on purpose to try and make us laugh, you know. There was one point David Jason said to us, "Do you remember, Dave? I hope you boys sing because I'll throw you out my pub." We were trying to do the singing, you know. And when he says that, you know, you take notice. It's like, oh dear.
Yeah.
That was good. It's really good, Dave.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a big place to BBC, wasn't it? Trying to find your way around.
I'm sorry.
I
didn't know what you said. Sorry.
The BBC, it's a big place when you get in there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Around. It's good. It was good.
And how long ago was it now? I'm just trying to think. I could find out if I look for the DVD, but it's longer than you think, isn't it?
20 years.
Yeah.
It's about 20 years, isn't it?
About 20. So either 20 or 21. When we filmed it, it didn't come out that year. It got delayed.
It's about a year or so later.
Yeah, it was over a year later. So I think it came out in 2003.
Yeah, the last three, they recorded them all at the same time, didn't they? I heard. So that they could bring them out each year, each Christmas. That's what Sue Holderness said. So, yeah.
I think someone said to me the other day, "What's your favourite Fools and Horses?" Now, everyone must get asked that. What's your favourite programme in Fools and Horses, you know? And I suppose I'm torn. I love the Jolly Boys outing, but I love the Miami Twice. But whenever one of them two comes on, I don't care if it was on last week, I still watch it. You know, them two are that good, but they're all good. And the one we was in, I thought was brilliant. You know, when you watch the whole thing, it's just our little part.
Yeah.
Little part we're proud of.
I think it's a very underrated episode, actually. I think there's a lot of comedy in it, but of course you've got the end scene, haven't you, with Del Boy and Rodney, when Rodney says about his father not being Freddy the Frog, and Del Boy says you're nothing like him. I think it's a great episode.
Yeah,
do.
Because he says, and that was like, it makes you really sit and watch it when he says, other than looks, was there anything like him?
Yeah.
And it makes you, it seems so real. It don't seem like it's acted, does it?
No.
It seems like it's actually really there.
And then you could imagine that you've got that scene with Rodney talking to Cassandra, saying, that I can't tell him. I can't tell Del. Yeah, and then you've got it the other way around, haven't you, with Del Boy and Raquel? And it's very sad, but a good sad. Yeah,
it was brilliant. But yeah, I think that this is how the acting with that program gets me. When they done Miami Twice, and you got Del Boy on holiday, but you've got the Godfather as well, and they said that was that Anthony Carone? He's coming over this year for the convention, and he was Ricardo. He was the son who looked after
Rico. Yeah, we've had him on the podcast.
Rico, that's it. And I said, yeah, you did. I watched it. Brilliant. So when he was Rico's dad, and he's acting in that bit, and then he's Del Boy acting in that bit, someone said, Rico's coming over, and I thought I was going to bring his dad with him.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and then you suddenly, hang on, no, that was David Jason. But the action was so good that you forget David Jason was that one, because you see him, he's this one, and suddenly you have to sort of step back and go, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. He really did add two different characters that you believed.
Yeah, and also that's, believe it or not, that's David Jason's favourite episode that he filmed. If you watch that program all about Only Fools and Horses, I think it was UK TV Gold. Yeah, that was his number one.
That he was unbelievable. I never think of the Godfather as him.
Yeah,
because it's so good that you don't see it as him. You see it as a.
So as we're doing this, you started this, but it's good. Yeah, David, what's your top two Only Fools and Horses episodes?
I suppose. I mean, I love the episode where obviously Del Boy falls through the bar. That is
yuppie love.
And I do like the old Batman and Robin one. I think that was brilliant as
Heroes and villains.
It's all good. I have to admit, I'm decorating at the moment, so I've been here working, and my wife's watching the old episodes of Fools and Horses, laughing her head off. So I ain't got a chance to watch them lately. I've been too busy.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter how many times you watch it, you always laugh to it. That's what's so great about it.
There's so many, isn't there? I mean, there's that one as well with the old the water one where they got the
Second Spring.
Spring. Oh, that was brilliant as well.
It's
good. Yeah,
he turned up with his shotgun at that posh one, wasn't it? And he pulls out his shotgun, and it's like, only Del Boy could do something like that.
Yeah, a royal flush.
And what was really funny was the one when he had to go on that glider, and he said to Rodney, mate, there's a phone call, and it's our phone, Rodney. Rodney's going, no.
We've got a phone.
Car phone. We ain't got a car phone. Oh, that was magic.
There's so many though, isn't there? There's not one favourite. There's so many.
You can't.
Yeah, I think one of our favourites is Dates, isn't it, Emily? We love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are just so good. But all that comes down to John Sutherland, doesn't
Definitely.
Yeah.
What a genius.
Definitely. I mean, we've said before, he can make you laugh, he can make you cry. There's so many sad moments in it as well.
Yeah. There was a thing that I read the other day, and whether it's true or not, David Jason was saying he would love to do Del Boy just one more time.
Yeah, we've spoke about that on the podcast. We got mixed reaction. On Facebook, everybody loved it. On Twitter, everybody didn't. But I don't know if that's the nature of the platforms, but yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, Tony, you said had a good idea, didn't you, Tony, about that, the Great Raimondo, wasn't it?
Yeah, when we done the last convention with them, we was with Robin Driscoll, the Great Raimondo. but he wrote Mr. Bean as well. So he's a great writer. And I thought, if they are going to do it, I'll give Robin Driscoll a call and say, look, come and write it, because I don't know who else would have John Sullivan's brilliance, you know. But Mr. Bean's brilliant. Robin Driscoll might be the person to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, who am I? But that was my theory, that if he is going to do it, he's the right guy to write it. But you never know.
I think even if I would like to see a full episode, but even if they did a half an hour sketch or something, I'd be up for that. You know, even something like that.
It would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like this in the newer ones. Some people didn't like them. I thought they were great. I don't know what they're talking about. But there's great scenes in it, even if you didn't particularly like the episode. Like you can't park there, Dave. You know, remember that one?
Yeah.
Rodney's parking the van.
Yeah.
You've got the Gary bit, haven't you, in that episode? And there's so many great moments in the last three.
No. What's the guy?
Forget, don't you, all of them.
What's the guy's name? Gary. I know it. I'm trying to remember it. But he's like Gary, you know.
Gary. Gary.
Yeah.
Nabil Elouahafi, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I think that's his name, yeah. He's been on the podcast. He was eating a biscuit for some reason, but but it was still great to have him on.
Absolutely. Every one of them. And when he said, when having a baby, and he said, if it's a girl, they're going to call it Joan after their mum. And if it's a boy, they're going to call it Rodney after Dave.
Trigger, yeah.
Said that.
Trigger was the best, wasn't he? Definitely.
Oh, he had all the one-liners, didn't he?
Yeah, they're going to call it.
Very good.
For me, the best scenario that I find funny is in Dates, where where Del Boy has hired a stripper for Uncle Albert's birthday, and it's Raquel. That for me, that is just ultimate.
I think. I really. I mean, when I first saw that, Tessa, I think Tessa's beautiful, and when that happened, and then she went, I was pissed off. I thought I should keep her in. She's really good. And when they had the Jolly Boys, and she turned up again with the Great Raymondo, that made that program even 10 times better for me, because Tessa turned up again, and then she then joined, and I thought that's what you want. That's what is brilliant, you know.
And Del Boy deserved that, didn't he? Because he'd been through a lot of heartache, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's why I think Jolly Boy is one of my favourites, because she turned up again.
Yeah.
But the one you're talking about with Dates, that was brilliant. Yeah, and it was ironic at the end. He got arrested, so he couldn't. He was going to go and meet her, weren't he?
Yeah.
But he grabbed hold of the real policeman.
Yeah. Come on, take him off. Yeah.
And got arrested, and that was it. He lost out. But it's funny when you look back at all of them, put it together. It's magical.
And in that episode where he's outside the Nag's Head, and you know he finds out that Raquel is the stripper, he's like, "It's too bloody late, isn't he?" And then, of course, the van completely. You remember? Because Rodney had been joyriding in it, hadn't he?
Yeah. It's when he was waiting at the station with the big flowers. And he says, "I'll buy her a steak dinner and everything." It's just Del Boy can say, "I'll buy her a steak dinner," you know.
She's guaranteed a steak meal.
That's the one. Guaranteed a steak.
Oh, well dressed man.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So Emily, you got another question? We're running out of time.
Can't think of any.
No, I think we've covered everything, but we would like you to sing if you don't mind. Just
Yeah. Well, I've had a reason I'm drinking the milk here. I've had a cold and tickly cough all blooming the last 2 weeks. So.
Oh, are you going to sing it, Dave? Go on, you have to sing.
Are we doing Unchained Melody? It's weird. It's one of those songs don't do, but tend to know the words.
What are the words? You sing it, and I'll try and join in.
Right, as long as the right key. Right, hope it's the right key for you, Tom. All right, ready? Well, we've done changing that. You know when we first done the old the convention, the first time I went for the convention.
Yeah.
I told you I lost my voice and it was taking me months to get it back.
Yeah.
We stood there and the bloke's introducing us. Oh, this is, Lordy Geordie.
Yeah.
Sing part of the song. And I was sort of like, and I've actually just started singing in front of all these people. And I knew my throat weren't that good. So I got to the high bit and stopped. I thought, there we are, mate.
I sent that picture to you today, didn't I?
That's right, yeah.
I sent the picture to Chris. I don't know if on the messenger, but
that was it. That got me right there. And I thought all these people sitting and watching, you think, oh my God, no music, just,
Well, it's only us, so.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave loves singing. You sing, Dave. I'll sit back. I'll sit back and enjoy it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time.
And time goes by
so slowly, and
time can do
so much. Are you still mine? I need
Oh, you can't show him up once you start.
That was great. Well done.
I mean, changing the subject slightly, me and Tony, we was doing a gigs and that. We was quite a lot of the songs we was doing was Frankie Valley. And we was doing
Four Seasons.
We was doing that before Jersey Boys come out. We was doing Big Girls Don't Cry, Sherry, long before the Jersey Boys started.
That wasn't the key though, Dave.
No, was that the wrong key for you, Tony?
That was good enough for us, wasn't it, Emily?
I just...
Very good.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us, and I'll get this edited, and then I'll.
Yeah,
are you both on Twitter or? No, that's on there. Sorry.
I'll tell you what though, if I've got the original that John Sullivan done, you might hear this in a minute. The backing track we had to use on the day, and let's see if it come on. Here it comes. That's the key. That's the key.
Good for your
lonely time. That's the right key for it, isn't it? And that's the backing track John Sullivan done for us.
That'll be the trailer. So. Great. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, and I'll let you know when it's all edited and you can listen back to it. It's been good.
Nice to speak to you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Been brilliant. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks
Have a good evening.
Have a nice
Take care.